This video review is being brought to you by PrimeToys.net. PrimeToys.net, where you can get your collector grade toys at not the collector grade prices. PrimeToys.net. And I'm a reviewer, so let the reviews be joined. Or as Scavenger here, as we're going to do the review, would say, everything's worth something, even me. Hello guys, this is your friend Donbot once again with another video review. And as you can probably guess and tell, we're looking at Transformers Combiner Wars Voyager Class Scavenger today. Fairly cool mode, and also I'd like to apologize for the lateness of this video. This one was actually had been done, it was ready to be uploaded, and then I actually lost it, and the Bone Crusher review plus another review, lost all those, and then the holidays, Christmas and all hit, so I wasn't able to record them. And so I was kind of got delayed, and I apologize for being so late coming out, but they are coming up. But let's get back into this. As you can see, we got Scavenger here. Very nice look of the G1, or excuse me, the upgraded version of the G1 figure for the Destructicon Scavenger. I really do like this guy. Him and the other arm mode for, excuse me, the other arm limb for Devastator are actually two of my more favorite molds of this series, or this line. Scavenger, of course, here as we see here, it does have some nice detail work on him. I'm trying to get him in as best I can. You can see he does have some very good detail paint all through his body here. Like right here he's got the black vents, little machinery here right underneath the cockpit, or a conning tower, whichever you want to call it. Around here on the shovel, it's got some nice detail work all up in there. Also has nice silver here for basically the piston, or that's right there. All of it is really cool. You flip it over, he does have a little bit of wheels here on the bottom for his treads, which sadly they're all plastic mold. But considering his transformation and everything, I can understand they couldn't put real treads, kind of like what the Combiner Wars later Megatron has, which really would have been cool for these guys. But considering the transformation again for his legs that come off of this, I can understand why they didn't do it. But again, like I said, he does have wheels here, and he has this back here for his, allowing him to roll with, and it actually rolls really smoothly, really easy. The scoop here it is pretty good articulated. It rotates really well up, come all the way out, and so on. And if you were to actually take this out and play it in dirt or whatever, you can actually do some pretty good. I do kind of wish it had a little bit of a hinge right here for the scoop, where you can fold it up a little bit more, just for that will work. But still, it's not bad. I still like the way it looks. I like the detail on it and everything. Again, with color scheme, again, he has the purple, the regular greenish color paint. It has the silver again here, but we'll get more into looking at this as we get him into robot mode. But all in all, he doesn't really have any other movement. Something else that would have been nice for this guy would have been if this could swivel, kind of rotate the whole body around. I can't remember. I think the G1 was able to do that, but it's been so long since I've had the G1 figure that I can't remember. Like the other ones though, he does kind of have a similar transformation to the G1. I do remember that the G1, basically you would take him and fold his legs down one way, which I actually believe it would be this way. You would fold them down. The front part up here would have like a little swivel here that had little points, or little joints here. That was basically his feet. You would fold that down. He had his head folded up like, actually I think it was back here. His head was like being this general area. You'd fold that up, and then on each side you just would slide out and have his arms. And that was his whole transformation. Being G1, he was very simple. Now, this one is kind of not that way. He does have a little bit more to his transformation and stuff than the other figures have. Actually, him and Bone Crusher actually have, Scavenger here has, according to the instructions, he has a 17-step transformation, and Bone Crusher has 16. So they really, of all of them, they have the longest 2 steps to the transformation. But again, I will not be transforming this guy into his limb mode. I'm just going to transform him into his robot mode so you guys can get a look at that. Now to transform him, again, it's real simple. well, just a little bit longer compared to the others. Which all you do is to start off, you take the crane here and you actually slide this back. Which I want to note, one thing that's really neat about this is when you're basically just going to fold it back into this little area here. And when you get it there, you see it's got this little indentation here on the top part that basically is for this piston on the top of the crane. Which I kind of wish they painted that silver too, just to match with this one, but it's alright. You just fold it up and it slides right into place and real snug, and actually doesn't look too bad. You can actually kind of see him driving down the road or even sitting on the back of a hauler or something like this if you wanted to. Which he's kind of sliding apart there. Next, you will flip him over, and one thing about this guy on his bottom section with the treads and stuff is, I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to get these on cam with the light and stuff, but he has a peg here and he has a peg here in the back. It tells you that you want to just unpeg these for this step. You can, which is what I'm going to do. So you might want to, you could unpeg these if you want. It won't hurt anything, but that's just what they show on the instructions a step. Next, you want to go ahead and actually, oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Rotate this whole section down, grab it right here, and just slide it down. Which I'm getting it. Oh, that's because I forgot to get on that side unpegged. My fault. You rotate all this down like so into this position. You'll then go ahead and rotate right here on the top, which you see that's already coming up on the top, and you'll see right here it has a peg here, a peg hole here, and a peg hole here, and you got these pegs, which is what, of course, these are going to peg right into. You just peg them right in. Next, you want to flip this con tower back up and around behind the shoulder. You will then rotate all this up into the front shoulder here. As you can see, it's on a nice little ratchet ball joint right there. Do the same on this side. And this basically, of course, as you see, it's going to be his arms. I want to flip this around so you can see. Next step, you want to just flip out his fist like so. And flip it out like so. And now you got his fist ready to go. Next step, it basically tells you to go ahead and unpeg right down here these black or purple areas. You can see how loose. On mine, for some reason, his one leg here is just, that joint is just really loose. It doesn't want to stay pegged up too well. Even with that, when you can see how loose that joint is, I actually want to have to do the nail polish trick to it to get it to. And as you can see, it's actually worn a little bit too up in there, so that might be one of the causes for it. But you go ahead and unpeg those from that side, and you can kind of rotate these down and around like so, because you want to face them, to rotate his legs to face this bottom section here. You can see this purple with the red pieces here, because this is basically going to fold up like so. You can fold it up like here, and then you'll fold it, ratchet it back up, right up in there, because it's going to, all this is going to peg right up into this section here, which I think I am, there it goes. I forgot to, there's a peg here that you got to unpeg. I completely forgot about that. But it'll peg right up in there and pop into place just like so. Then straighten his legs back out and down like so, and like so. We're going to go ahead and work with this side first to show this leg. You'll basically reach up here and grab, push his arm out of the way, grab this section and hold up here up his hip and pull, and you see it just lowers his leg down, and then you will reach down and just split the bottom of the back part of the treads up for his feet. Rotate them around and do the same on this side. Fold it down and just split the bottom of his foot. And there we have that. We'll then stand him up, straighten him out a little bit, which he kind of come apart a little bit right there. And raise the camera back up. Last step is his head. All you do for his head, lower this panel down, and there's his head. You rotate it up into place like so, and then you just flip this panel back up, and here we have Scavenger in robot mode. not bad at all. I really do dig this. I like the way they work this. It's very not very nice looking done. Of all of them, he actually has elbow joints, so that's a big plus for the Scavenger and for Bone Crusher, which we'll get into on another review. Let's go ahead and look at his articulation, since we were talking about his ball joints. He does have a head that rotates all the way around, rotates up just a little bit because of the ball joint. And note on the head also, as with all these, I'm just going to try to bring the camera in. He does have a very good head sculpt, very G1-esque. I love the silver with the red for his eyes and everything. Only thing I kind of wish with all these Voyagers is they do have a little light piping for all these Constructicons, just to give them a little bit better look. Shoulders, he does rotate around because they are on ball joints. He does have the ball joint here at the elbow, but because of the size of the arm, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of movement this away. You can also rotate it, but it does kind of rub a lot. As you can see, it can do that. The fingers, no finger articulation, no wrist articulation either. No waist movement because of it being pegged in there. Kind of keeps it from that, and also so much this back kibble here kind of helps it up as well. Though the hips right here do have the ball joint, as you can see. We'll move the arm up out of the way. It can swivel like that, and like I said, I'm gonna really have to do some polish work on that to get it straightened out. He does have a knee, though it is kind of hindered through the treads and stuff, which that's not that bad of a problem. It can be worked with. He has no foot articulation really on the foot, no foot swivel. You can kind of, if you wanted to kind of set him up on like he's standing on another Autobot or something like that, you can kind of work that in with a kind of like bending the feet like so, just a little bit, just to kind of get him like he's got his foot planted down on him, like in some way. Which I actually will do that. I'll bring Alpha Bravo in just to lay him down here, and I'll kind of, you can see, you can kind of get him where he can kind of be planting his foot on Alpha Bravo or whatever character you want to put down up under his foot, just to give him a little bit of a good stance, which can be kind of hard to get him to stand right, but I'm not going to fool for too much because of the way. I'm just trying to show you that you can probably do that if you have it working right. We'll bring him out of the way, and we'll stand hook Scavenger back up, straighten him out some. And as you can see, mine's kind of unpegged there as well. That is one of the downsides to him. His pegs, to me, at least on mine, seem to want to, on the hips, mostly, they seem to want to come off real easy. You can see mine's kind of, why is he standing kind of, oh, his foot. Let's straighten that, flatten that out. There we go. But there is Scavenger. There he goes, it pegged out and popped out again. But there's Scavenger in his robot mode. You can see he does have some nice red paint here and here, but these of course were on the sides of his vehicle mode. And you got this nice silver for his chest cavity with the Decepticon logo, with the yellow there in the center too. So it does look really good. I do dig this guy, and like I was showing, bring Alpha Bravo in again for comparison for size. You can see it is pretty good size comparison. Them, of course, Alpha Bravo being a deluxe, Scavenger here being a Voyager. You can see definitely a big size difference between the two, but still, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Again, the downside to this, as I bring Alpha Bravo out of the way, is that the Voyagers or the Hasbro versions of these guys don't have weapons for them, which is a downside. But there is the upgrade cut that's come out by Perfect Effect, I believe it is, that you can pick. I believe it's just been released. We can pick them up and add them, give them the. I'm not sure if it works on anything on Scavenger. At least I can't remember if it did or not. But I do plan to get that upgrade kit for this set. But I do believe they come with that set comes with weapons. I may if they do, I may keep them put up or something. But these guys, once I get that set, I'm going to have this in combined mode because I want to be Prowler Stater. But that's going to be it for this video review, guys. And as usual, you can go to primetoys.net and pick this set up. Though he does not have any of the Hasbro version, he does have the Takara version, which that's the one I will post the link to below. So if you want to check it out, get that one. It's just a little over $200 for shipping, for price and everything. But if you want to use the transmissions code, which is brought to us by the fellow sponsored Transmissions podcast, fellow sponsored by PrimeToys.net of Transmissions podcast, you can go on there, type in the code when you go to checkout, Transmissions December, which is just for this month, so we got tomorrow is your last day, which is the day this is coming up, that this video will be going up, will be your last day to be able to use that code. But definitely use it, try to get it up there, get 10% off your order. But again, guys, the Transmissions podcast is also sponsored by Prime Toys. Definitely worth listening to and checking them out. They're a great group of guys that talk anything and everything Transformers. But lastly, guys, it's done by saying please like, share, and comment on this video. Tell me what you think. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. If you would like to, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And also send me an email if you also like to send me in comments through there. But this is Don about saying thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.